Hey everybody, welcome back to Hawkwind's Radio Picture Show. Good to see ya. My name is Jack Dwyer.
And I'm Jay Smooth.
We have such a great show for you guys today, as always, every Wednesday, right here at Q4 Radio. Again, for those of you just tuning in, welcome to the show. We are a show for artists, by artists, for Chicago entertainers of mediums of all different kinds, whether it be musicians, filmmakers, artists, puppeteers, spooky people. We've had a lot of spooky people on the show recently, and we're just, we're always having
pro wrestlers.
Yeah, we're looking into getting some pretty cool features on the show. If you know anyone who's interested in being on the show, send them our way. Have them slide into our DMs. Any social media account. If you know any of us personally, just reach out to us. If you got my,
if you have a dog that can do cool tricks,
we'd love a dog that does cool tricks. Just let us know. We'd love to feature different artists. So if you're looking for a platform to promote your art and whatever it is you do, Hawkwinds would love to be that platform for you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
How was your weekend, Jack?
It was good, man.
Happy birthday, by the way, Mr.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Sir.
Thank you. No, please stop. No, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
What did you do on your birthday, bro?
I had a lot of fun. I was pretty chill for a Tuesday, and I had told my girlfriend, I'm like, girl, I just want a night out with you. And so we went out and went to this really, really nice restaurant over in Des Plaines, and then went to the Des Plaines Theater, and we saw Vampire Circus, which was incredible. I love vampires, I love circus, and the two of them together were phenomenal, as
Vampires
you can imagine.
and circuses, holy fuck, dude.
And it was cool because at one point they actually brought my girlfriend Jasmine up on stage, and she had to pretend mime that she was riding a motorcycle with the clown master of ceremonies. So a clown stole my girlfriend on my birthday. Again,
some things just never change.
No, I guess not. But it was a blast, man. We had a really good time, and I'm very thankful for all the friends and family I have in my life. I felt very loved. Although I didn't throw a big party or anything. I had so many people reach out to me, and it felt really good to feel really loved. So
oh yeah, man.
I'm feeling it these days. And this year, my big goal this year is that most men don't get flowers in their lives, and they don't get recognition until they fucking die. And I want to change that because I think people should get flowers while they can still smell them. If you appreciate somebody, if you admire someone, if you love them,
send them flowers.
Send them flowers. Let them know. I mean, flowers metaphorically. You know what I mean?
No, literally.
Well, or literally.
A bouquet of flowers.
A bouquet, yeah. A bouquet is always nice. Edible arrangements, even. No, even
please sponsor us.
Yeah, please. Even just a nice gesture of hey man, I see what you're doing. Real recognizes real. I want to work with you. I would love to collaborate. Let people know that. And I don't think a lot of people get that recognition or that kind of that sense of hey, what I'm doing is actually kind of cool. So if you vibe with somebody, let them know. Let them know because it's a beautiful thing. And sometimes people need it more than you think. Yeah. You could be on top of the world and still think you're fucking up. So. But you could also be at the bottom and people think you're killing it. Life's all about perspective.
It's all yep. So perspective, man.
Yeah, but other than that, no, I'm just booked and blessed. This Saturday though, I have a pretty big thing that's happening. It's the Arts in the Dark Parade on State Street. It is this Saturday, October 19th. It starts at 6 p.m. It starts at the State and Lake Stop right in front of the Chicago Theater, heading southbound down to Harold Washington Library.
Arts in the Dark Parade.
Arts in the Dark Parade.
What the hell is that?
It is in accordance with the Loop Alliance, I believe, and it's a parade that they host. I believe it's the 10th year that they've been doing this, and it's basically it's just a big haunted Halloween parade on State Street, that great street. And it's really cool that you have artists of all different mediums doing puppetry and music and dance. There's a bunch of Dia de los Muertos makeup and costumage, and there's cool parade floats, a lot of fire spitters, some cool circus stuff, cool bikes and whatnot. And I'll be marching with my friends at Cabinet of Curiosity, and we plan on bringing the tall double-decking spinning bike. Amongst some other cool, fun contraptions. So
nice.
I've got a little something up my sleeve right now. I can't tell you what it is quite yet. But I'll be sure to have pictures afterwards. But if you guys are looking for something really cool that's free in Chicago and super artsy, this Saturday, Arts in the Dark Parade, State Street, 6 o'clock start. A little word for the wise. Trust your friendly neighborhood tour guide, Jackie Boy here. I would head southbound a little bit. The more further south you go, the less crowds, I believe. So, if you're if you're on the south end of Madison, I think you're pretty set then. Just let the parade go through. But it's super fun. I've done it 2 years ago, and I got to roller skate down State Street, which was like a dream come true. I've gotten to do it a couple times afterwards, which is pretty sweet.
Once as Elvis.
Once just as a crazy dude on my own. You can get away with a lot of stuff in the city, which is cool. But that's Chicago, baby. It's a party in the street.
Saturday?
It's this Saturday.
Get your spook on, people.
Yeah, meet you between the clocks. If you see me out there, I'll be with Cabinet of Curiosity. We'll have a banner. Shout out. Say, hey, Jackie Boy, and I'll swing on by in my contraption that I'll be riding, which, again, you'll see day of. So it'll be fun. But what's new with you, brother? Anything new with you?
Same old. Just here on the grind every day.
Yeah.
Trying to get the Hawkwinds radio show more noticed by people.
Yeah, baby. You're doing a lot of work, man. We're getting a lot of reels, and it's been fun. It's been fun to watch it grow.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, nothing really, man. Yeah.
What about your trip to Tennessee?
Oh, that's
Alabama.
That's next week or 2 weeks from now. Yeah, it's 2 weeks from now. I'm going to go to Tennessee for the first time.
Yeah, Jay's gonna visit Nashville. Perhaps.
I plan on checking out the what is it, the Music Hall of Fame or what is it?
Musicians Hall of Fame.
Musicians Hall of Fame. There you go.
Yeah. Well, if anyone out there has any good references, let Jay know.
I'm looking for some cool spots to check out. If y'all know any,
yeah.
Let me know.
I was telling you, Printer's Alley would be a cool spot for you. Take that trolley tour though; it's the best.
Trolley tours
are pretty cool. Because then you can enjoy, you can indulge, you can chill back, you can just enjoy your vacation, right?
Seems pretty lit.
It can be. Sure can be.
Now, is weed legal in Tennessee?
I think it's decriminalized. I mean, there's so many musicians out there, you know what I mean?
Cocaine's legal though.
Yeah, right. It's like 80s.
Just kidding.
It's like 80s illegal cocaine,
God.
Like it was everyone was doing it, but it was, it might be frowned upon. In moderation.
There might be less fentanyl in it though.
Don't do powder substances, kids.
Oh shit. Just kidding. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids. Only the good stuff though.
Yeah. Well, shit, man.
If it comes from the ground.
Mushrooms.
Yeah. Topic for another show.
Anyways, we have a pretty cool show today, man.
Yeah, we've got a really great show tonight. 8MatikLogan is in the house tonight. Please, everybody, welcome to the show, Logan.
Yo, what's poppin', man? Appreciate you guys having me, man.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you swinging on in.
Hell yeah.
For those who are just tuning in, who maybe have never heard of you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How would you describe yourself as a musician?
Yeah, so I kind of started off rap, like pure, just straight rap. Like that was what I started off making music as, That was also what I think probably one of the earliest introductions to music for me, or like one of those first moments where I connected with it and had a genuine like out of body experience, that was early on. I didn't start making music till probably like right before high school. And then, yeah, man, it's a long story. I'm working on like a book, trying to work on like some more like documentary style things to kind of get people who may not have been here for the whole journey, kind of give them something digestible that they can kind of get up to speed with if they're like a new supporter, or if they're new here, like, you know what I'm saying? Because some people are early, some people were mad early and started rocking with my stuff early, like 2012, 13, 14, like, so but yeah, started off mostly rap, man, and then had a lot of success early on in Chicago, like local, specifically like on the South Side. And then yeah, just started dropping mixtapes. Dropped my first mixtape. Sold out Reggie. Sold out Lincoln Hall. Did a bunch of stuff. Signed a deal in like 2018. Well, I signed to the studio in 2018, and I signed to L.A. Reid in 2019. So yeah, it's been a crazy journey. Got out of that deal. Once I got out of that deal, we had the pandemic. So then I had to like, that's when I started learning everything, how to produce, how to engineer, how to play instruments, pretty much everything, because I had no help, I had no money, I had just gotten out of my deal, so I had no music, I had nothing. And yeah, I started borrowing money and like just buying stuff and trying to figure out ways to make music. And then from that point on, just started learning new things and kind of building up that skill set and developing a new direction for what I wanted to do. Cause I feel like the business aspect, man, and you know, it's a beautiful thing, but it also can be very tragic, the journey, because I mean, you see it all the time, even with like famous artists who reach massive success and then they meet like a tragic like they have like a demise somehow, whether it be dying or like just losing their mind, going broke or whatever, you know. So yeah, I kind of just my bad, I go off on these these like tangents or like these streams of consciousness, but yeah.
No, brother, that's what the show's
Back to your
about.
thing, music. I started, man, and I just like, I just started playing instruments, bro. Started exploring and experimenting, trying to develop a new sense of direction, a new sense of like expand my taste, in music, and just like really like take it serious. And so that's where I'm at now. I feel like I'm at the beginning of that period where it's like way more directed. Like the energy is way more intentional and directed, and I kind of have more clarity, and I'm in a better place, and I think I'm in a better place musically as well, not just mentally, you know. So it would be impossible for me to give you like a summary to summarize the entire journey, you know what I mean? But for the most part, man, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. Started making music early on, and then
What does early on mean? Like, when do you remember like your first musical experience, even before you started writing music? Like, what led you to wanting to write music?
I just loved the way that music, I think my earliest experiences were probably like holiday music, I would assume.
Which holiday? Christmas music?
Well, I don't know. I was born in September, so I would assume them first like 6 months of my life was a lot of like Halloween music, Christmas music, like all of that, you know, leading into like the new year. But from a conscious, like the first time that I was conscious, I think my earliest memories are like Christmas music and things like that. And I have memories of like when I was like maybe like 7 or 8 of listening to like my dad's cassettes and stuff like that. A lot of like Tupac, a lot of like Do or Die, Twista, stuff like that, Bone Thugs. That was kind of the first music that like really pulled me in. Cause you know, as a kid, bro, in Chicago too, you hear a lot of music, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And I grew up in, I grew up mostly on the South Side, but mostly like in Little Village. So there's like a lot of like Mexican and like Spanish music everywhere. So you just hear music all the time. You know what I mean? As a kid, Disney Channel, like there's music everywhere. So you're kind of hearing things from all over. But those moments with those records that I just named were probably the first ones that I felt like, just like a real connection with it, you know?
Oh yeah.
because you got such a cool sound. You know, your genre is it's very vast, and you can totally tell that, you know, from your upbringing of the different kind of music coming around Chicago, especially. You know, it's funny. I was flipping through your music, and it's like sometimes you got like sad breakup songs on it, or like, you know, sad but true love song. And then like the very next one sounds like, you know, like the hit song of a new action film, you know, which, by the way, adding a bunch of them to my workout playlist. So I'm very happy I discovered you, brother.
Hell yeah.
You know, how would you describe your genre in that sense? Because you are a mix of a lot.
I don't like to label it or categorize it. I just feel like I'm in a place right now where I'm just creating from a very true source of like excitement and inspiration, and it's formless. It's shapeless, you know what I mean? When people do ask me like to say like what genre, I say really like what I'm pulling from is from like, obviously rap will always be a bigger element than probably anything else, because that's just like where I started, and that's probably like, that's just my first, you know, entry point to music. But I pull from like folk music, I pull from grunge, punk, I pull from like new metal, I pull from classic rock, I pull from like blues, jazz, country. I know I'm forgetting some stuff, but pretty much, you know, I'll listen to something, and if I like it, I'll if it moves me and I'm inspired by it, I'll find something I could take, you know, or like pull from it.
Earlier, I was describing your music kind of as like sad boy music. What do you think about that?
It's crazy because like some people say it's emo, but like emo just means like emotional. Like even with like pop, right? People say, "Do you make pop music?" And it's like pop is it just means popular. So like, what's popular culture? Like, what is pop culture? So, do I make sad music? I think I'm making music, and if I'm sad in that moment, the music is coming out sad.
Yeah.
I think in the future, it'll just look like I think I'm just documenting these moments, and yeah, man, I think they come from real places. I think some of them are probably sadder than others. Some of them probably are. It's all cathartic, you know what I mean? It's all like just get it out. So
yeah,
like,
because there are some of your songs where I was like, "This is some rock and roll ass shit."
yeah,
it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to create, bro, and like give my contribution. You know, like. Trying to keep it interesting. I want to make interesting music. Like, I want to make music that people listen to. Like, all of my favorite things are like, yo, what? Like, what am I listening to? Even the stuff that's like that's maybe a little bit more obscure and people might think is not good or whatever. Like, even like the early drill shit. Like, I want to be excited, you know, and I want the music to move me. And so that's the kind of music I'm trying to make. But like with my story and my like substance and my depth and me, you know. So like, but I'm pulling from like all of this stuff that I love. So.
And can I ask real quick, how did you come up with the name 8MatikLogan? What does that mean?
The 8 is just like my favorite number, essentially. Also like paying homage to like Kobe. And then obviously like sideways, it's the infinity sign. And what I'm trying to do is like, I'm trying to have, leave a legacy and have, an impact that, you know, lives forever and that doesn't die when I die physically, you know? So I'm trying to like do something real. And then also it's just like, when I get in the studio, I'm just like, a switch flips and I just like, you know, turn into like this machine sometimes for the most part. So it's also like automatic. And then Logan's just like my name, you know, so.
Cool. Because it is a very unique name, you know? Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And how do you come up with a lot of the other names of your stuff? You know, your latest album is Paradox 002, which you told us is just Paradox 2.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about the numerology and the names you make.
Yeah, so Paradox is just like this new snapshot series that I'm creating of these albums. It's an anthology series. So from project to project, it's going to be different. It's going to sound different. The themes will be different. The instruments, it's just going to be different every time. And I want to create almost like a file cabinet. I want my music to kind of be like a file cabinet with these Paradox albums, and they're documented in that way, you know, where you kind of get the snapshot of what I was making at that time. And I'm kind of just pulling from different approaches, man. From an independent release strategies standpoint, I'm trying to emulate, you know, something more modern, like Future or NBA YoungBoy, who's releasing at a high volume, at a high clip. Future more so, and this is no shade to YoungBoy, but Future is like high clip and like high quality, whereas YoungBoy, you're getting so much music, so it's, you know, inflating the numbers, but there's only like a couple true hits, whereas Future, I feel like everything is just like straight gas. So I'm trying to do that, or trying to emulate something similar to that, but that's just more so from like a release standpoint. My bad, I completely forgot what the hell the
Well,
question
actually,
was.
going to what you were saying, like the release. So we notice a lot of your songs are about 2 minutes long. Is that like strategical, or is that like just you just write 2 minute
Okay, yeah.
songs?
So like back to the Paradox thing. That's what we're talking about. The songs are short, man. I'm just trying to be cognizant of the cultural zeitgeist. Like, what are the times, right? I don't want to drop 7-minute songs because it's not.
That's not what's playing right
They
now.
were doing that because they had to fill up the space on the physical product, whether it be vinyl,
which was about like
CD.
45 minutes.
You had to fill it up, so the songs were longer. Now attention spans are shorter, consumption is different, so it's like you have to adjust, and people don't want to, they're just not going to listen to it. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot. I'm playing with song structure. I'm playing with still trying to keep it interesting, but not too long, not too short. Because, you know, some of these short songs, to me, it just lacks enough. It's so short that it's like a TikTok, and it's not a song. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find that like balance. So yeah, like having that quality.
You probably get more plays when it's a shorter song too, right? I mean, strategically
Yeah,
on a playlist, right?
for sure. I guess it depends if they're like streaming your music. One play is still one play. So if they're not going to your other music, you're only getting that one play. But if they're in your catalog or your discography and they're going through your shit, then yeah, for sure.
It's an interesting way to look at it too, because yeah, you're right. The attention span of people these days is so short. TikTok, YouTube videos, or hell, we're having a hard time getting people to watch a whole podcast. You know.
Well, it's hyper speed society and overstimulation. Everybody's getting attacked from every angle, 24/7. So, which is why I think this is I think this whole like internet thing is so whack for the most part. I think the utility of it, I should say, overall, like, you know, it's a great thing. It's an asset, but and if you use it right, it's, you know, fire. But like, I just feel like, man, we're frying our brains, and I indulge too. So like, I'm no better than anybody else, you know. But it's like being aware of that and trying to like make adjustments. But yeah, man, like, so I'm trying to create this interesting music that's digestible and compact, but still, you know, true and authentic. And I'm just pulling from like all the shit that I like and everything that I think is cool. And then I have to take off the artist hat and put on these other hats as well, which is a different thing, you know.
Yeah.
What other hats do you wear? You know,
I do everything
production-wise?
pretty much. So
Is even like in the the background music and stuff like that, you do all guitar and
yeah,
everything?
I play every instrument.
Can you tell us a little bit about that process?
Yes.
What that's all like?
Yeah, so sometimes the songs they come different every time. Like for Tsushima, which is the first song on Paradox 2, I just started off with the riff, that first riff on the acoustic guitar. I recorded that, tracked that, and then I can't remember if I added the bass, but then I just kind of built it like section by section. Then I added the distortion, the distorted electric guitar, kind of took it to a different place, brought the drums in. And so it's different every time, but like for that song, that was kind of how I did it. It started off as an acoustic idea as I was just like rehearsing, and then yeah, I got inspired, loaded up my laptop, recorded the first riff, and then just started building it from there. And then took it to a new place when I brought out the electric guitar. And that's cool too with this music. I'm trying to like make every song like an adventure or like a journey. Like I said, just keep it interesting, you know what I'm saying? Like keep it going somewhere. Because a lot of the music right now, specifically in rap and hip hop, which is the most popular genre, it's like just these loops. It's just loops, drum loops and guitar loops and melody loops. And we have like as a society, as a musical society for the most part in terms of pop culture and commercializing the the craft, I think we've gone away from arrangement and like musical song structure, and it's just like this very cookie cutter approach, and maybe that's the result of commoditizing the craft and the art. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, music is music, but I think that's why it's important to have musical people in executive spots.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough musical people in executive spots is kind of the problem right now. Like it's all
Yeah.
these like older people that just don't, they mostly just see numbers. They see like the people, the musicians, they see them as like products or quote unquote is what they call talent.
Well,
you
I
know what
wish it
mean?
would be more like you're starting to see it more like how like the NBA where you transition from a player to a analyst or a broadcaster or you know something, do a podcast, something. I wish it would be more like artists going into the executive space. It's just most people don't have the lifespan, and then most people burn out and the industry kills their spirit and they don't want to
Mhm.
join the other side. Someone I really I hope that I can keep this spirit to remain proactive and assertive and try to change things. But I know how demoralizing and deflating the industry can be, because when I was in my shit, when I was going through my shit for however long that was, that was the darkest time of my life, one of the darkest times of my life, you know. So
Are you referring to when you signed your deal, or what are you referring
yeah,
to?
when I was signed and like
So,
trying to get out the deal.
Well, so you signed the deal. How did you get into the deal in the first place?
I signed to a studio here in Chicago, and then we signed to L.A. Reid. Well, he had a label at the time called Hitco. I think they sold the label. This was before COVID, like right before COVID. But they had a couple hits. They had at the time their biggest artists. They had like J Lo. They had Yella Beezy. They had I'm blanking on, but L.A. Reid has signed a bunch, some of the biggest artists ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's been signing artists for like since what, like the 90s, 80s, I don't know. But yeah, so I was signed and immediately was trying to get out that deal after I signed.
Why? What was so bad about it? Well,
It was just honestly, man, I look back on it with grace, and I look back on it grateful for it. I wouldn't change it, and I don't want to speak badly about it as a situation, not even individuals, but as a situation, because I think it played such a vital role in getting me where I am now that I'm happy that it played out the way that it did, and like, yo, there's some other shit at work here that's beyond me. So I just learned from that thing to just go with the flow and not let none of this shit stop you. Like for me, it's a game of endurance. Like how much can you endure? How much can you persevere? Like how much can you take and just keep going? And that's what I'm on now. And I think that situation really like shaped that spirit. So I don't really got nothing bad to say about it, man. It's just a thing of like learning from those mistakes and not making them again, you know?
It's a humble thing to say, yeah. You know, you've been at it for a while, man. You know, I was looking on Spotify. Your first album on there, at least, was in 2015. You're going on just about a decade. You're over a decade now.
See, what's crazy though is like when I first started, we didn't have Spotify or Apple Music, and I didn't do a good job at the beginning. I didn't do a good job at all up until within the past couple years of organizing any of my shit. So that Spotify page is a new Spotify page for the past since like 2021 maybe. Yeah, so like there's music under the Logan Cage name. There's music under different names. My catalog and discography was split up. The 1636 album was released under a different name in 2015. So it's been a crazy journey. If I probably had all my shit organized and from a branding perspective, not so chaotic and all over the place, I probably would have had like better numbers and presentation would have looked better and stuff like that.
Well, better late than ever, man. You know.
Well, it's about learning. It's about learning, and I didn't have anybody really to kind of show me the ropes. Even the people that I started out with were just getting started as well. So we were just kind of learning everything on the fly. And the thing is, like I say, go back to endurance. It's like most people quit when it gets really bad, so they don't do anything with the experience. So I'm trying to keep going and make that shit not for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you've gone for over a decade. You know, a decade from now, where would you like to see yourself?
Oh man, I try to like think of the macro, but then also think of the micro. You know, like because I know the only way to win the game is to focus on each play. You know what I mean? So you can't. I equate and draw correlations all the time with sports and like music and life and all of these things. So like 10 years is crazy, man. So much. 10 years ago was crazy. Like if I go back and look at what the hell was going on 10 years ago, I was like, damn, bro, like I got friends that were alive at the time, you know? So it's like, I don't know, 10 years from now, bro, I don't know what that looks like. I hope that I can continue to grow and evolve, and I just want to do something important, you know, do something substantial and make a real, like, just make like a real impact here and do something real. Like all that, like fleeting, fickle, like goofy, trivial shit, bro. I'm just over it, you know, like I want to do something real. And that's really what's driving me right now. And I don't even know what like 2034 looks like. You know?
Yeah. I don't think
Machines
anybody
might have
does.
taken over by then.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, speaking of machines, have you seen like have you heard of the AI like musicians? You know, like those AI apps that you can just prompt the song and then it'll write a whole song.
Yeah,
give
I've
you
actually
lyrics,
tried
give
it
you-
before. It's kind of crazy.
What do you think about that?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know if I have an opinion on it yet.
Do you think though? You think it's gonna take over like actual like making music instead of musicians, or do you think it'll just be like a cool tool for musicians to have?
I think everything has utility. I think maybe there's utility for it. I want to listen to humans play music. I don't want to listen to a robot, you know? Same. I like when humans act like robots sometimes, though. like Daft Punk or like Kanye, you know, stuff like that.
Like Kanye.
But yeah, man, I think whatever. It's in its infancy. It'll be whatever it's gonna be. I think regardless of GP, we should protect artists though, and our image and our likeness and our, you know, our IP. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it yet, man.
It's really wild because we rack our brains on it all the time. We ask guests on the show what they think.
The song I made the song that I asked it to make was a fucking bop though.
They're good. It's scary good. We did a theme song for the show, but before I showed Jay, I'm like Jay, this might crush you a little bit. But I'm just gonna show you because this is just a thing, you know.
Yeah, as a musician, watching a robot make music, I'm like, why did I spend so much time learning how to make music when I can just fucking do this now?
Right. That's why I stopped writing. I was a whiz on the keyboard, but now I'm just like, fucking, it's obsolete.
See, no, it's not
crazy.
obsolete because
True.
it's not obsolete because it's all about perspective, right? And perception, right? This perceived reality. It doesn't really exist, bro. This is all controlled, and if this electricity shit goes away, which is probably never gonna go away, but like if it goes away, you have no fucking skills. Most people, you can't do anything. So like, do I want the person that can play the music or the person that can make AI music? Like, yo, if your phone dies, you're fucked. But this person can actually make music.
That's true. That's a cool way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
All we have to do is just flip a switch for electricity, and then guess what? AI, you're fucked.
Right. Hey man, you got some cool tattoos. Can you give us a tattoo tour?
Yeah, I gotta get some more, man. I got a lot of these when I was young. Most of these were like when I was a teenager.
Bro, you got that full skeleton hand going
Yeah,
on
the
the side.
camera.
skeleton hand
That's
with the
killer.
microphone. My shirt's kind of tight with the microphone skull.
Oh wow.
Crybaby tattoo, RP Peep. Yeah, man, I got a bunch of stuff. RP Fail. Bunch of family stuff on this arm. 1636. I got my neck tatted. September on my face. Yeah, bro, I got a lot of tattoos.
You got a favorite?
The owl maybe September. My little peep tattoos. I really fuck with those heavy.
Yeah. Are you like a fan of that era of music, like Lil Peep and like XX and like fucking like Lil Xan maybe? Like I don't know. Are you like a fan of that?
Not necessarily Lil Xan, but X Peep, yeah.
Like Juice WRLD and shit.
Juice, yeah, man. You know what's crazy? Is I never interacted with Juice. Or we never spoke. We saw each other at the studio all the time, but we were both so faded that it was just like we just looked at each other and like kind of just walked past one another. But he messaged me like a couple months before he died.
Damn.
And yeah, he was just like reading my messages, LOL. And I scrolled up and he had messaged me in 2015 like asking for a feature.
Damn.
And I told him like $300. And
wow.
he never responded after that. But yeah, it was 2015, man.
That's funny, man.
But yeah, RP Juice, man.
Yeah, man.
I wish. See, what's crazy is I wasn't even making like this kind of music. I was so lost and in a different place in my life at that time. That's what sucks about these beautiful, talented people dying so young, is that they don't get a chance to blossom. Like if I would have died at that age, I would have never been able to explore and discover other things that I loved.
And he died at what, like 20, 21?
21.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But
crazy.
X died at like 21. Peep died at like 21.
Yep, they were all
Everybody's
fucking
so young, bro. And it's like, those were the people from this generation that were special.
They were supposed to do something.
Because there's not many stars, like true stars in our like cultural generation, post 2000, like or post early 2000s. There hasn't been many stars, and you know it's like a true star. Like when I say star, we've gone so far into the internet bubble, like I was just talking about, that we've lost touch with what has actually happened. Like I'm talking about like a real star, like Michael Jackson level, Prince level, like.
I feel you, bro. Yeah, these are the type of people that can pull up anywhere and just sell out any fucking.
Don't get me wrong, Drake is that. Drake is Kanye. These are stars.
But they're more in like pop,
but
like realm, I guess.
Well, they rap. What Drake said, I rapped and it went pop. But it's like those have been the guys my whole life, essentially. There's been nobody new for real, like within the past at least 10 years to come in and be like, and I think X and them were that. But our generation is like we're like the crash out generation. We're like, we kill ourselves, we kill each other. We're like, you know,
yeah,
it's just like it's like a fucking self-sabotaging generation.
Yeah, man. A lot of fucking people that I knew were like dying from like taking Xanax and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fucking
bro.
crazy, bro.
We lost a lot of people. That whole first Chicago like wave, bro. So many people are like not here anymore.
I feel you, man.
And you know, you definitely talk about a lot in your music, and I was hoping maybe you can expand a little bit on that of, you know, the importance of talking about mental health and
Like
drug abuse and whatever it is that is killing all these young artists. You know, can you talk about the importance of talking about it?
Yeah, I think it's different things, you know, contributing. So I think it's so nuanced and so hard to like really grasp, but nobody needs me to tell you how important like mental health is and mental well-being is, you know, like especially in this day and age, like everybody's struggling for the most part in some way or in some way, shape or form, you know, like everybody's going through their own little thing. So I just think for me as an artist, man, I have like a fiduciary responsibility to my fucking, to this like ethos, to this thing that I exist in, to give my rawest, most authentic expression. And so, like we were talking about, is the music sad? Is it about mental health? I think it just is what it is, you know. And it's up to the world to categorize it. That's not for me. I think it is important to touch on mental health if you have a real relationship with that. If that's something you really, you know. Some people that's not their. They don't relate to it. They don't struggle with depression or substance abuse, or, you know, so maybe that there's a different music for them, you know, you get what I'm saying. So it's like
It's not for everyone.
yeah, and I'm not trying to say like hey, let's make this album about mental health, like let's make this song about, it's just like these are just songs that are coming out of me at that moment.
It just happens to be a timestamp and like what you're going through in life at that time, I guess.
Because it's the same way I make music, the same way I paint, same way I do everything, man. It's just like same way I talk and converse. It's just you start and you just go, and wherever it goes, it goes.
I feel you, bro. Yeah. That's the same way like I feel when I make music, because I'm a musician too, so like I do that shit too.
Yeah.
Like it's never like a thing where it's like, all right, I'm gonna make the song about this. It just happens to like be what it happens to be at the time.
99% of the time, the lyrics are the last thing.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, very true, man.
Like the lyrics are most of the time the last part. Very seldomly will you get a lyric that sparks the whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be very profound, powerful lyric.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Yeah,
something that's like, you know.
So you say you write or you play a lot of instruments. Do you write a lot of the instrumentation on your music, or do you collaborate with other artists?
No, I write everything too.
You write everything,
but it's not like I'm sitting there with a pen and I'm playing it and then writing it down after.
Right. I feel yeah. So like, let's say you're playing the drums, you play like a beat, sounds cool, and then you remember it, record it later.
Yeah.
I feel you.
The only thing I write down is the chords. Right. I don't write anything else down.
Like guitar wise?
Yeah, because I can just look at the chords and hear the song and remember everything else I did. I just need the basic chord progression.
Yeah.
Because then I can remember, like, hear it and just remember where I took it with each instrument.
Sometimes when I'm jamming on my guitar, I'll just have my phone on record, and then I'll just leave it there, and then if something sounds cool, I'll just play it a couple times. What's your writing process like? Do you start with the guitar first? Do you start with like drums first? Do you have like a melody that comes into your head sometimes? Like, what's that like?
It's so different every time. I'm in a place right now where I'm just not forcing anything. I'm only making music when I'm inspired and like where the feeling of I feel so compelled and it's so strong that I have to make music. That's the only time I'm making music right now. And that's when you're getting like the most driven results. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're unstoppable. You know what I mean? That's how it feels. It feels like nobody can get in your fucking way. That's how it feels, and that's been like real liberating for me. and the process is just really different every time. But most of the time, I would say I start on guitar.
Gotcha. Acoustic guitar, electric.
It changes, but it'll probably depend on what time of day it is. Like if I can make noise, like if I could be loud, then probably on the acoustic, because I mostly work in headphones. And the acoustics be loud.
Gotcha.
So with the electrics, you just plug them
Plug
in,
in your
you know.
headphones. Yeah. Are you a gearhead? Like, what kind of guitars do you have?
I'm turning into one, man. That's the crazy thing is like.
What kind of what's your setup like when you play live? Let's get a little rig rundown, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have a crazy rig. My pedals are a Helix HX Stomp. So
I like the Helix,
which has like pretty much everything you could ask for in terms of like pedals and cabs.
You know what's funny? I use the Helix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use that. Dude, it literally has everything.
Yeah, so there's so many things, and then I just download presets for like shit that I'm in. So I use the HX Stomp for my guitar pedals, and then for vocal processing, I have a Zoom V6, some shit like that. I think.
What kind of guitar?
I have a couple. I have a Taylor for my acoustic. I just bought a Strat, a sick ass Strat, but I wish it was American, but still fire. I just bought I bought my first Strat, and then I have the Kurt Cobain edition Jaguar.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, super sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Dude, that's nice.
My godfather got me that shit. So that was like that. You have these moments where like they're like these like marking points where you can remember exactly what was going on at that moment, or it's like a pivotal moment where something shifted.
Like core memory, pivotal moment, yeah.
And when he got me that guitar, I don't even know if he knows it, but when he got me that guitar, that's in my mind, it was like, okay, now this shit is even more serious, because I didn't have nice guitars. I didn't have nice instruments. I had like shitty ass cheap gear. And when he got me that, I understood now what it felt like when you play an instrument that makes you feel something.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling, man.
So that's what that changed everything for me. And I was like, all right, I can't do like. That's when I became like that's when I started getting into gear and understanding the importance of what that gear makes you feel like.
Yeah, gear. Yeah, it's
because people be like, yo, why do you keep buying all this shit? Why do you buy this? Why do you buy that? Like, people think it's stupid. Like, people that on the outside.
Unmusicians.
Unmusicians, but it's also a thing of like, yo, even if I never use this on a song, if I like this, I'm going to buy it because I like it and it makes me feel good. But like when it comes to guitars and pedals and stuff like that, how it makes you feel, it's like if you were hooping. You're not going to hoop in some shoes that don't make you feel good. You want the shoes that make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to go up to bat with a bat that doesn't fit the dimensions you need or the weight.
I'll pay the extra $80 for those nice shoes, or the extra whatever for the nice bat or something like that.
And the one that makes, but it could also be the reverse, bro. There's no rules, because the cheap fucked up shit could probably be the shit that makes you feel something.
That's true.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I like making music in a little bedroom. I like that more than the studio, than a professional studio.
I feel you, bro.
Because of the way it makes me feel. So it's not about, it's about feeling, and it's literally that. Yeah. And it could be, it's different for each person.
Looking good is half the battle, you know?
Yeah.
Is there a certain thing that you like to wear on stage when you perform? Outside of the
man. Again, it's just about feeling, bro. Yeah. It's all intuition, man. It's just about what does that feel like? What feels like should be, appropriate for this moment. And that changes on a moment to moment basis. So like you're just going I'm trying to live in this like perpetual constant flow state. Like when I look at my shit, bro, and if I had to like write it down on paper, I'm gonna write it down. if I had to write it down, like I approach my life and my music as if it was like produced by Rick Rubin.
I was literally about to mention Rick Rubin, bro. I'm all like, do you know who Rick Rubin is?
Yeah, who's Rick Rubin?
So Rick Rubin is a producer who's produced probably like every famous rock musician you've ever, not even rock, like he's expanded to like other genres like rap and shit. But he's very big on like, so he's got like these interviews where people ask him like, so what's your contribution? He's like a producer. He's like, what's your contribution to music? He's all like, well,
Oh, this guy.
yeah, well, I can feel what sounds good, something like that. Like he's all
They
like,
basically people are paying him for his taste
yeah,
and
pretty
his
much.
ability to dictate and communicate what he thinks is good.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
So he doesn't really touch the music,
Yeah,
but he's a producer.
yeah,
Huh.
Because artists can testify. He has testimonials where people are saying like, yo, when he's here, something's different. And that's what I mean when I talk about the instrument picking up. When I picked up that Kurt Jaguar after playing my cheap ass, I'm not gonna bash the brand, after playing my cheap ass guitars, I felt like a real musician, like a real guitar player. And that, bro, that's so important. Because you got to feel like Kobe if you ever want to try to actually be Kobe. You got to feel like Mike. Kobe had to try to feel like Mike, you know what I mean? To get to that point, like you have to feel it. Part of it, the biggest part of it is believing it yourself. So, yeah. But like, if I had to say like, from a production standpoint, I try to like approach my music as if it was all produced by like Rick Rubin. But I try to emulate like three main people musically, like Rick Rubin from a production, like from a philosophical standpoint. And then like sonically, I'm at this point where I'm just like really like this Kanye meets Kurt, like smoothie type thing, or like maybe not a smoothie, maybe it's more just like smushed together. And then like, you know, I paint all my artwork, so there's like a big ass Basquiat, Warhol factor there too. But I just kind of like pull from my favorite people. But Rick Rubin and his book, The Creative Act, I think it's called, right? The Creative Act changed my life, and I really try to emulate that spirit of like flow state, staying and remaining in the flow state. And it's not easy, but like if you can stay in the flow state, bro, you're damn near bulletproof.
If it feels good, it probably sounds good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or at least it makes you feel good, you know? And you'll listen to it.
But even
that
beyond,
that
even
was me in my
beyond
last
music,
relationship.
though,
She was very toxic.
You know, we do have some people commenting down below here. I see Sean Ham is messaging in, says, shout out Logan, been listening to you, bro, for about 10 years now. He's come a long way. Thanks for leaving
Sick.
from
Hell yeah.
Sean Ham. Appreciate the message, Sean.
Love, bro.
Anyone else out there, if you're tuning in, be sure to leave us a comment. If you got any questions for us, if you got questions for Logan, got questions for Jay, if you want to know how he gets his hair so luscious, let us know. You know, just leave us a comment.
Easy, breezy. What was it?
Is it CoverGirl?
Cover girl.
Bro, I bought some ladies' hair product the other day, and I was like, damn, I should get
Easy
this more
breezy,
often.
beautiful thugger girls. You know what that is?
Damn. I don't know who that is, but it sounds like something I'm into.
You don't know what that is?
Please,
Damn.
please enlighten us.
It's do you know what that is?
No.
He has
what
no
is it?
idea.
Damn. Young Thug's album. It's a thug album.
I know who Young Thug is.
Yeah. Beautiful thugger girls.
CoverGirls.
True.
That's funny. What do you use on your hair?
What do y'all listen to?
What do I listen to? Fucking a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm like an '80s hair metal guy. I do
Really?
a lot of that. I feel like I was born in the wrong generation, but
Okay, what about 80s hair metal? What about 80s hair metal do you resonate with or pulls you in or that you connect with?
glitz, glam, and storytelling, wild storytelling and partying antics, I think.
So you like so when you say hair metal, you mean like Motley Crue?
Yeah, like Aerosmith, Motley Crue.
Sick.
Rat.
Yeah, I would listen to Rat. Kiss, I love Kiss.
Sick.
I learned how to spit fire because of Gene Simmons. So inspiration comes from everywhere. What about you? What's your favorite genre? You
I'm a
think?
big mathcore guy. I like math rock, mathcore. But again, I listen to a little bit of everything. Like I know about like I love Juice World. I love XX Tentacion. I love fucking, all that era of music, all those genres. I love fucking metal. I love like Slayer and Metallica and fucking, and I like all the little niche, little fucking, little niche.
What's your favorite band of all time?
Slipknot. Oh yeah,
I go fuck with
Slipknot.
that.
What you doodling over there?
I'm just drawing shit. I should have never grabbed this paper.
Hey man.
Do you think that's where your writing process starts? You do it on paper, you kind of just let the pen start rolling, or?
No, bro, I'm not thinking about shit. I'm just
Just noodling.
so
Is that how you feel when you're playing guitar sometimes? You're just not thinking about shit, you're just like
Yeah.
noodling?
yeah, and I learned that from rapping, freestyling, learning how to
Yeah.
freestyle. Once I learned how to freestyle and learned how to do that, it's crazy because I was looking at a jazz vinyl recently, and it was like it said jazz vocal improvisations, and I was like, oh, that's basically just freestyling. And I was like, these motherfuckers have been freestyling forever,
Yeah.
and people act like it's not as new. Like, especially for us as like rappers, we think like it's this since like Wayne or since like Hove, but like people have been doing that.
Doing it for a
And
minute.
it's something that I try to like get better at. But once I learned how to freestyle and have those I get into that flow state where those ideas are just kind of at the surface and you're tapping into it. If you can take that energy and just do it for other things, yeah.
Yeah, man. They've been doing hip hop, generally speaking, for like since forever, man.
Yeah.
We had our buddy Yuri Lane here. He was talking about beatboxing and how like the caveman used to fucking beatbox, but they didn't know they were beatboxing. They're just like
Yeah, it's
doing
just
fucking-
it just wasn't called what
exactly.
we call it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right,
But that's
association.
going back all the way to like the caveman times. They were
Mhm.
fucking type of shit.
Music has been around forever, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking
Something
crazy.
Music is communal, and it's a language. Like before we developed, I'm sure, I don't know, I've never read anything about this, but I'm sure before they developed language to speak, they probably communicated with rhythm and like through
Sound.
cadences and shit like that,
Mhm.
which is basically music.
Sure, drum lines, letting people know.
So do you
different words.
produce your own music too, or do you go to a producer and shit?
No, I do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Literally
Produce it,
everything.
everything.
You're a
Produce
DIY
it,
artist.
mix and master, distribute, collect, literally everything.
Mhm.
Literally, there's nobody else touching anything
That's
from the
wild,
moment,
man. That's cool,
from
man.
inception to like when you pull it up on your phone.
That's cool,
That's
man.
really cool.
Hell yeah. So
How did you learn how to produce your own music?
just I'm an autodidact, bro. I taught myself
Mhm.
everything. So internet, going back to my point earlier with like the internet could be a bad thing or it could be a good thing. I use it for educational purposes mostly, and I
Mhm.
learned so much shit because the answers are all out there. But yeah, what did you ask me again?
How did you learn how to produce your own music?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just the internet.
internet, like just trial and error, spending time.
So are you currently signed to any management or any labels or anything? And would you or would you not, and why not?
No, I'm
Why?
100% independent, man. I own my masters. I own all my publishing because I play everything. So
Mhm.
when you buy my music, all the money comes to me. When you buy my merch, when you come to my shows, all the money comes to me. So
Support local artists, guys. Buy
and
his
I'm trying
merch.
to help other artists kind of. I'm trying to develop a blueprint or like a system or build like this infrastructure that I can kind of just give to other artists,
Yeah, kind of like a blueprint, like you said.
Yeah.
That's cool. How like what does a blueprint look like for an artist to like make it, I guess?
Well, I don't know about make it, but I'm talking about
Or what are you talking about?
from a standpoint of like distribution, collecting your publishing, like kind of being as resourceful as I can as an independent artist to like help people navigate that space to the best that I can help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause if you don't know how to collect your publishing, no one's gonna actually go out of their way to help you. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
yeah,
like, what
yeah.
I'm trying to do is just like give people the
Resources
answers to the
do it.
questions that when I first started I didn't have. You know?
I feel you.
If you were to go back in time and talk to yourself when you were first getting off, what would you tell yourself? How would you encourage your younger self? Or what would you forewarn your younger self?
Man,
Don't sign no contracts.
no, I wouldn't say anything, bro. Just rock out. Just
rock out.
just go. You gonna figure it out.
Mm.
Cause it's all for a reason, bro. I really believe that. Even this shit right now, even coming here and the chances of me running into Morgan outside and bringing her in here, like that's why I invited her up here, because I'm like, none of this shit is an accident, bro. Everything is happening for a reason. We don't know why. And it's not our place to know why. But if you tap into the source and you just go into the flow state, we were talking about it musically, but it doesn't have to be music. It could be anything. And that's what I'm on, bro. Like, just continuously going with the flow, taking everything in stride, even the bad shit.
And learning from it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would you consider
It's all
yourself like
happening.
spiritual and shit?
Super spiritual, not religious, but super
Not
spiritual.
religious, yeah.
Like
I
what
say
are
the
your
same
beliefs?
shit.
What do you mean?
Like spiritual beliefs.
Very, very simple. My ethics, values, and morals are very simple. Just do good.
Yeah.
Don't do bad. It's like not complex. Like human beings, it's the human experience is inherently suffering. So we're never gonna escape pain or anything, right? But we don't have to inflict pain. We don't have to like, hurt or harm each other. So like, yeah.
Amen to that. Well, are there any messages you would want to send out to your fan base? Anyone out here listening who's been a fan of your work for many years?
It's all in the meat, man. No. It's all in the music, bro. It's all in there, man. It's the message is there already. The messages are out there, man. You gotta. It's like, right. So I have a bookshelf at home, right. So there's so much information on that bookshelf, but if I never read the books, that information is just lying dormant. So like, yeah, I could give them a message, but if they're not tuned into that frequency, if they can't receive it, what's the point? So like for me, it's just like the message is in the music, the message is in the brand. It's right here. So like I'm hoping that whoever's tuned into that frequency, I'm hoping it finds them, and I'm trying to cultivate a community of supporters, of people, like-minded people, where we can kind of spread this. And I study shit like, cultures from like different eras and how they blossomed and how they popped outside of the one that I was actually involved in here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I just want that. I want to do that. Like let's continue to do all of this cool stuff. And yeah, sorry, I just be talking, bro.
You're good,
That's
man.
cool, man.
So
So
we got
you've
you on the show. We want you
you've
to
sold out a
talk.
couple of venues, bro. Like, which one was your favorite one you've sold out, bro?
We did Reggie's one time in 2015 where we did it. We sold it out or packed it out twice in one night. That was cool.
Oh,
But
yeah. Do you have any?
people, man, all of this shit is cool, man. But like I'm just like, I'm over it. Like I'm looking forward, and I see like footage of like, you just look at footage of like Woodstock, right? Or you look at footage of like the Reading Festival, or you look at Wembley, or you look at the benefit they did with Queen and all of them. Like, I'm trying to be grateful for the journey, but what's happened has happened, and selling out Reggie, selling out Lincoln Hall, even doing the shit we just did at Shuba's. Like, I'm appreciative for all of this stuff, and all of them are their own things, and they're special for their own things. But I'm so looking forward to the electricity of like 20,000 people, 30,000 people, 50,000 people. And it's a thing of like, yeah, we can get on this stage with all these people and turn up and play music and get excited and get, but like playing those other songs, the songs that hit people in the heart with like 20,000 people, that's what I'm excited about. So like I'm cool with like all these like local small underground shows, and like it's very important to grow and you know what I'm saying, touch people from all levels. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that like what I'm most excited about is the scale of which I can take it and impact people. Like,
Wait, yeah, man, you're definitely on your way there for sure.
I want to
You're
sell
doing a
out
great job.
stadiums, bro. You know what I mean?
I
Like when
feel
I
you,
watch
dude.
Kanye shows, I'm like, yo, dude, what?
Like you get goosebumps just looking at it. Like fuck, dude, that could be me one day.
And I've never toured. So like, I've done a couple big shows, but I've never toured, and I've never done any like real big festivals.
Should get on that, bro.
I'm trying to figure that out. But I really believe in that field of dreams shit. Like if you build it, they will come. So like,
Oh, for sure.
for me, I'm trying right now. I'm focusing on developing the music more, developing the live show, and getting to a point where it's so undeniable that those moments they're not just being talked about, they're gonna be happening. You know, like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people.
If you were to get brought on a tour right now, who would you want to open for?
I don't. This is off the top because I don't know who's touring or if anybody's even
It
actually
doesn't,
touring.
it doesn't have to be like your dream, I guess, your dream tour opening slot for.
I would like to tour with. Oh. I don't know, man. That's hard because the artist that I would like to tour with, maybe the music don't make sense. Like my favorite artist.
Who's your favorite artist?
I would like to tour with Kanye, but there's no way
Mm.
that might not make sense right now. Maybe in the future,
Hey,
like,
man.
because my music is going more toward like I'm pulling more from Kanye, but
Mhm.
like, I would love to to open up for like the Foo Fighters, or like open up for like kind of like paying homage to like one of the legacy acts, you know, or one of the bigger acts. But for somebody like more modern or more like our generation, I would love to like collaborate and do shows with like Jelly Roll,
True.
like MGK,
Yeah.
Post Malone,
I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that being a thing for sure.
and then all the girls. Like, yo, the girls are killing it. I want to work. Like, I love Sabrina Carpenter. I love all the pop girls. And like,
Chaperone.
yeah, Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia
Yeah, who's the other
Rodrigo,
one? Charlie XCX or something.
Charlie XCX, Taylor Swift, all of them, man.
The Swifties. Yeah.
All the girls.
That's
I wanna.
that's a whole market, bro. That's fucking. You know, get with the Swifties, you fucking did it.
Yeah, for sure. I love 1989 though. Like Taylor's album
Mhm.
1989.
Yeah.
That's my favorite album by her.
Yeah. Decent album. I mean, you know, she's not like my cup of tea, but you can't deny that she's a really good, like, hardworking musician. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, bro, it's like you don't get like. You're not Tom Brady, just luckily.
Right.
You're not
right.
Taylor Swift because you're
Just
lucky.
right, you don't have, you know, millions of people following you
Yeah.
outside the stadium too. Just
That's what like
because-
the average people that are just ignorant don't get.
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
Even
dude.
if you're not making the best music of your career currently anymore, which I'm not saying she isn't, but that's the case, or that's why a lot of people feel they have the right to talk down or like shit on somebody. But like, bruh,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, bro, like so many hits. Like
Yeah.
what?
Like I said, not
You-
my cup of tea, but you can't deny the fact
Yeah.
that she's a hardworking artist and that she makes good music. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like people listen to her, so
Also, another thing too that I realized with me, man, it's like a lot of people aren't like me. I'm more like eclectic. I'm like a lot of people are very niche and very like precise on what they like and don't veer too far from what they like. And there's no right or wrong way to live, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah,
for
if you
me,
like what you like,
I try to explore everything and give everything a chance, and I be liking everything, bro. Like, and
I
a
feel
lot of
you,
people
dude.
be ashamed to say they like pop music, but I love pop music.
You know what we have? What I say my go-to karaoke song is on this show?
What?
"Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Toxic by Britney Spears.
Remember, pop means popular.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like pop music, if you go back and look at like the top 5 pop hits from each year for the past 20 years, they're gonna be different genres.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is a pop song, but so is "Mask Off" by Future.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So is like
different genres.
Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
So is Taylor Swift. So like,
But
none
so
of
was
those
Kiss
songs.
at one point. They were
Exactly.
pop.
And none of those artists sound similar. So it's like,
Unfortunately, disco was pop at one point. Disco was very pop at one point.
but I love traditional pop music. Like I love like bubblegum pop, like whatever you're thinking.
Like
pop
Fergie.
music. Yeah, like all of that shit, like sing song ass pop. Cause I like folk music too, and there's elements of that. I love folk music, like Joni Mitchell, Leonard Cohen, like bro, I love folk music, and that's why like you hear a lot of that in my music too.
I like sea shanties and Celtic music.
Did I get you on the Celtic? I got you on the Celtic. Once you get into it a little bit, Irish
Have
rock.
you? Do you go there often?
Second City? I got this shirt because I worked in the kitchen there for a little while. I was washing
sick.
dishes and I was a host there.
I'm trying to do more shit in the city, man. Like, cause
But I did take a lot of classes there.
for
Just like comedy classes. There's clowning. There's comedy studies programs there. They have a film school now, which is pretty cool.
sick.
So I suggest it to anyone, man. We always talk about doing improv games and stuff like that. It's a good way for people to kind of get out of their comfort zone a little bit.
Well, I'm just trying. I was speaking more so like I'm trying to like, bro. There's so many people that have a similar like story to mine. Where I grew up on the South Side, bro. We never went downtown. We didn't go anywhere outside of our neighborhood. So once I started to get older and I became an adult and I started to like understand that this is like what Chicago actually is, like the behemoth of a thing that it is, and I realized how much cool shit there is here.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yo, what? We have so much cool shit. So I'm starting to like venture off and explore and do all the cool stuff.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How do you think I am?
I don't want to offend you.
25.
I'm gonna say mid-20s,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
mid to early 20s.
No, I'm not. I've been in this like debate with my team on if I should just
On the age.
tell people my actual age or if I should just be ageless.
Because I read 1636 on your knuckles. I was like, there's no way he's 400 years
No,
old.
I mean, yeah, actually I could be.
You and Spotlight Sparkles probably know each other throughout the years if you're that old,
Dun,
man.
dun, dun.
You're a Renaissance baby.
Yeah, man. I'm a vampire. But yeah, no, I'm definitely older than 25. And I'm not going to. This is the thing with society, bro. I'm trying to strip away all the perceptions and all the labels, right? So like when they call me a rapper, when somebody asks me my age, or when somebody says like even the ethnicity stuff and stuff like that, it's like why everything, it's just like why. And what my take is that most people genuinely mean well, but they're just trying to conceptualize you, or they're trying to fit you into their concept of the world and your little role in that, you know? But I don't like that shit anymore. Like, I don't like people calling me a rapper. I don't like people asking me my ethnicity or my age and asking, you know, getting an answer and then making a whole bunch of generalizations or judgments about me. based on that. I'm like, how about you experience me and then you like, and then make a decision or a judgment off of that. Same way
My
with the
apologies
music.
for asking.
No, it's not even
You're
you, bro.
You're very wise though. For
It's
you know,
not even
what to
about
say,
you. Yeah, no, it's the same thing with the music too. Like, because I've get asked this all the time, shit like that, shit about what genre are you making, and it's like, yeah, I love that there's questions being asked, but let's get beyond the surface. Let's get beyond the what genre is it, and let's start like actually, you know what I mean? Like, because that's all we do. We're so surface level as a society. We want to identify it, categorize it, box you in, and move on. And I don't want to be boxed in or marginalized anymore. Like for anything.
You know, and I guess the reason I was asking too, because I was just kind of, I guess I was curious as to like when you got out of the neighborhood and started venturing into the city. You know, what were some spots you like going to? You know, what are some places in the city that you felt
I
like
just
you were as an artist?
I just started exploring the city, bro. Like just started going to like I go to hella coffee shops and bookstores and shit that I like, forest preserves on the like surrounding suburbs, and so beyond Chicago, the city, the surrounding suburbs, and then like, you know, going downtown, going to shit like the symphony, going to like all the cool stuff, the museums, everything that we have here that's so cool. Just doing stuff like that. And I didn't start doing that till like recently, within the past couple years, like post-pandemic type vibe. Or like,
Well, he's a tour guide, so if you need any recommendations,
I'll show you around, man.
but also to my point, it's fucked up that somebody who's been in Chicago for my whole life needs a tour guide. Like, we should be. That shit bothers me.
You're right. I'm with you on that. I it was funny. I was looking at our mutual friends on Instagram, and I saw Six Figudilla is following you.
Yeah.
A famous Chicago urban historian.
Hell yeah.
And I love his mission, because you're right though. Like, you can grow up, and I'm the same. You know, like I went downtown, you know, for field trips and stuff like that with the park districts and with school for field trips or whatever. But a lot of Chicago kids don't grow up with this belief that like, this is my city. You know what I mean? I'm so proud of all this. I could name buildings on Michigan
We
Avenue.
are proud though. We're proud as hell. We're a proud people, but
do
we don't know ourselves. We don't know our history. And a lot of it too is that we're a city full of immigrants. First, second, third immigration immigrants. So it's really not most of our history. Technically. But we're here now. So it's like, I don't know.
It should be taught.
Even if it's not, even if we're not learning the historical aspect of it, you can still, it's still here now. Like,
Right,
there's still
just to
cool
see
stuff
what it
now
is,
that you can
yeah.
experience. Like,
Absolutely.
even from an architectural standpoint, bro, the like Gothic architecture downtown is so fucking raw. All the building, all the old Chicago architecture is so sick to me. And I didn't know that shit was only like look like that here. You know what I mean? Like, so like we have to, that's the thing. Like, I want these kids in Chicago, bro, where I grew up, and like all these other neighborhoods, we view downtown and like these tourist attractions or shit. We view that stuff is like corny or tacky, and we don't leave our neighborhoods. But I want to encourage kids that grow up in Chicago to like do that stuff. Go, and even adults, bro.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to go to the club and turn up and like do that, do your thing, get lit. But like, bro, there's some fun, cool stuff here for adults too.
Yeah.
Like,
and a lot of free stuff too. You know, I've always had this belief, and you know, my grandpa was telling me about this many years ago, and I don't know when they stopped doing it, but Chicago schools used to teach the Daniel Burnham plan. So when Chicago burnt down and was rebuilt, there's a guy who released a plan in 1909, and his name was Daniel Burnham, Ben's Burnham Harbor and all that. But it was like an actual like play-by-play book of like how they would want to rebuild the city after the fire. And a lot of this stuff has like come to, you know, even if it was 100 years later, it's still happening. But it was kind of interesting because when you get all these kids on the same mindset of like, hey, this is your city, you should be pretty proud of it. We've come this far.
bro, they don't
since the
even
fire,
teach us.
But they don't tell us. Yeah.
They don't even teach us like what you were talking about earlier when you were you were saying something, and you were talking about going down the parade on the south end of Madison or whatever street you said. What street did you say?
Madison, yeah.
Madison.
State in Madison is the city center, yeah.
As kids, nobody taught us anything about, at least for me, nobody taught us how the E-ways worked. Nobody taught us about like the actual, at least for me, the actual names of the neighborhoods, or like, you know, like what you were talking about, the directions, like why the street's addresses are southwest or whatever. Like nobody was teaching us that. And we don't feel like Chicago, or I didn't feel like Chicago was like mine, like you said, you know. And it wasn't until I got older and I realized, like, yo, this is our city, and I think it's like the best city, and we have so much to do. So like, why not do it? There's so much cool shit here, bro.
And what do you think is the reason why it's stopping people? Do you think it's kind of the violence around certain neighborhoods, or like the stigma of certain neighborhoods, or even
it's
like
not
you
one
said,
thing.
even going downtown?
Yeah, it's
like,
not one thing.
Oh, the bean, you know. What do you think it is? Because it is a problem though. I mean, like you know, you get kids from Inglewood who like have never once been downtown, but like have their parents' tax monies going to it. You know what I mean? And these are the kids that need to be entertained and shown, you know, the beauty of the city. You know, so I don't know. I don't have the answer for it either. I couldn't tell you. I will say this though. I'll take shots at it. Rahm Emanuel, former mayor of Chicago, he shut down a lot of the programs for youth of Chicago, like the after-school programs. They used to do like lock-ins at the park districts and stuff like that. And this fucking guy took all that out. And now,
when was he the governor?
He was mayor of Chicago.
Or mayor, I'm sorry.
From I think he ended in like 2008. It was like right before Obama got in office, I believe.
True.
It was somewhere around there. But he shut down like a lot of the after school programs, and everything that like helped Chicago kids kind of be Chicago kids going downtown. Like they used to have like recreational basketball meetups every single weekend in the city throughout the summertime, and even in other seasons. But yeah, they shut it down. And you know, and then
But Chicago
that's when
too,
crime kinda
man.
sparked up. You know, people
Chicago-
weren't having that love.
Chicago, I feel like people, and I hate politics, bro, but I feel like politicians always view things from an idealistic standpoint, and we detach from the realistic aspect of it. And I don't know, man. I just feel like people, I don't know. Never mind.
We don't have to get political. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, politicians just suck.
Yeah, but it's a shame because it's something that the power should go to the people. People should have more of an opportunity to see their city, to enjoy their city, to have some fun in it. And
Yeah.
when you take away that association of this is our city, that's when bad shit happens. That's when people don't take care of stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a shit show, man.
Yeah.
It's a shit show, but like we deserve so much better. And it's not like Chicago is a beautiful place, but we have so much darkness. And that shit is not gonna go away, especially if you understand energy. It won't go away anytime soon. Like actual people are getting murdered all the time in the same space. It's like it's becoming a big vortex of like negative energy because that energy doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? So beyond the politics, it's just all around the board. It's a tricky situation, you know. And I wish I had more like answers, but they're not paying me to solve these things. They're paying people to solve these things, and those people should be, you know what I'm saying, doing that shit. But I feel like my music is my contribution for now, and I really want to try to bring people together. And if I could give kids in Chicago hope, man, cause I don't know, you know, like me growing up, how I grew up, bro, there wasn't much there. but there was. I just didn't know any of, I couldn't see past these like fake imaginary like walls that were, or constraints that were like in front of me, that were imposed on me by, I didn't ask for none of that shit, but it just is what it is. But there's a lot of people like that here, and so I want to try to help these kids look past that and realize that we're all Kanye West, we're all Barack Obama, we're all, you know what I mean? We're all that, bro.
I need to
We're
hear
all
that
Derek.
more than you think.
We're all Derrick Rose, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Kanye West, dude.
I wish.
Because we don't believe that.
Yeah.
We don't ever believe that, bro. A lot of us don't believe that. And Chicago has a track record for bringing the rawest people to the fucking world.
True.
The Midwest in general, like if you look at from a music standpoint, the Midwest is running, like they've been giving true superstars like Michael Jackson, Prince, Eminem, Kanye West. You know what I mean? Like
Fall Out Boy, Rise Against.
Hey, Rise Against the Machine. I mean, Rise Against, is it the Machine? Rage Against the Machine, Rise Against.
There's Rise Against, and then Rage Against the Machine is a different band. I don't know if they're from Chicago, though. I know Rise Against is from Chicago, and so is Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy's from Chicago for sure. Who's the, wasn't there another alternative band from Chicago?
Maybe.
The Smashing Pumpkins, aren't they from Chicago?
Yeah.
Or are they from, like, the suburbs?
Billy Corgan, he lives in Highland Park, but I think he's from Chicago. Yeah.
You know, that's how Courtney and Kurt kicked their shit off in Chicago. Chicago's played such a vital role in so many stories. Once I started reading, like, that's another thing too, man. We're just like that. Everybody's like LA and New York, and like Chicago is like better. Not better, maybe better.
It's getting there. It's getting to be.
I think it's better,
one.
but of course I do because I'm from Chicago. But like it's like the best of both worlds. You kind of have LA and New York, but the Midwest is sick. And we don't get like crazy ass natural disasters.
Yeah,
so but yeah, man, Chicago, like, yeah, bro, I could talk about Chicago
It's
forever.
not so cutthroat. I'm with you on that. I tell people this all the time that, especially, in any entertainment field, whether it be music, filmmaking, stand-up comedy, modeling, whatever it may be, there's a lot of competition, East Coast, West Coast, and you could be a small fish in an ocean out there. But here in the Midwest, it's like you could be a pretty decently sized fish in a Great Lake, and you can make a pretty big splash for yourself.
Well, let's not shy away from Chicago being the third biggest market in America.
Sure.
And it's not that much smaller than LA and New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's a significant, very massive place. We just don't treat it as such.
Mm-hmm.
Like, specifically with the entertainment industry. Like, why are there no label headquarters here? Why are there no, I think people are starting to move here, which is why I think it's cool. Like, for me, what I'm doing, I'm like, man, let's make this shit super Chicago. Cause like, we already did shit here. But like, if we continue to stay here, as people start to migrate here and as attention starts to come here, like, we'll give them a real Chicago experience,
There was like a whole wave of like Chicago rappers and shit back in the day. Like fucking, like Chief Keef is probably the famous one. Then you got like Lil Durk, and you got like fucking, like G Herbo and shit. Like all those Chicago people, like, and those guys are fucking huge now. You know what I mean? Like Chicago has a really fucking big like catalog of artists that have made it, bro.
Making them growing up tough. A lot coming from O Block, man.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, shit, man. Yeah.
Phew.
Pretty wild time in music, man.
Yeah, no, you're right though. I think Chicago is also a good place for people in the Midwest to come and kind of grit their teeth a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also, Chicago is like 42 different cities. Every neighborhood is like a different city. It's so segregated and so separated. It's crazy. Like, we could both be, all three of us probably, you both lived in Chicago your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
We've probably had three completely different experiences.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Completely different experiences. And that's what I'm trying to like figure out how we can eliminate is like how do we stop being so divided? You know what I mean? Like,
Starts with the
because that's what I'm
kids.
talking about with the Chicago shit. Like, not going downtown, not doing anything that not enjoying any of the Chicago attractions that we are entitled to because this is our city.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally a right of ours, a birthright of ours,
Mm-hmm.
a national right and right from being a Chicagoan. But like, we don't go past our neighborhoods. We don't go out of our neighborhoods. We don't see the different world that someone else is living. Like, if you grow up, I grew up on 23rd and Washtenaw in Little Village.
Yeah.
The way that I grew up and how I lived was completely different from somebody growing up in Lincoln Park or growing up in, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with how they grew up.
Just different. Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah,
It's
nothing wrong
just
with
different.
that,
And,
yeah.
and I want more people to have a similar experience to where we can all get to, enjoy this shit, bro, because it's a beautiful place and there's so much here.
Well, back in the day, you couldn't really go to Little Village all that often. It was fucking dangerous as shit, man.
Well, that's what I mean
Even-
with the segregation shit. It's like you don't leave your neighborhood because you don't see beyond it, but then also you kind of can't.
Right. Yeah, like back in the day, like Logan Square, what it is now, dude, it was nothing like that before, dude. Logan Square was literally like
Bro,
the middle of the fucking like gang wars, bro. Logan Square,
Bro, even like
fucking-
Westtown, Ukrainian Village,
Yeah.
everything
all
up
these
north.
areas right
The
now.
whole north side was
Yep.
busting back in the day.
We
Even
were-
like Pilsen, if you go out south and
Yep.
more out west, the whole Chicago's being gentrified. But like
Mhm.
that shit was like super. Yeah, that shit used to be super
Dude,
busting.
I grew up on the middle in the corner of Fullerton, Sacramento. I grew up in like a brown building, and right next to it was a gas station. Every day, I kid you not, there was 2 different gangs either fighting or shooting each other in that gas station. It was fucking wild, man. And now you go there, it's like you got coffee shops, you got fucking flower shops, you got fucking bakeries. It's like you
And
got
now,
bookstores.
so
like,
look,
what the fuck?
so look, the Chicagoan in me, right? The super street Chicago trench baby, the motherfucker that grew up over there is like, I hate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part of me, the adult now, the grown mature person is like, dude, fuck the gangs. This is the cool shit. Like,
Yeah.
put more bookstores, put more thrift stores, put more coffee shops, put more restaurants. Fuck all that shit. Fuck the dying, fuck the killing, fuck that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. That shit is not cool, and it never, like, that shit.
It was never cool, man. Yeah.
You gotta
That shit
empower
ain't
your
never
neighborhood.
been the move, bro.
Yeah.
If you're not a part of the solution, you're.
But most people don't get to. But most people don't get to grow up to see that part.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Cause we're all, especially growing up in Chicago, you're in it when you're young. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as a youngin', you're just in it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't think about living past 30. You know what I mean? That's the other scary part of just having that idea that this is it. This is just.
Well,
gonna
when
be
I
my
was
life.
younger, I never thought I would live past 25.
And here you are. Right?
Yeah,
I never seen I couldn't see that far. Like, I just always expected to die like young.
like, cause that's what everybody was doing around, around our circle, bro. Like, I remember one of my friends got shot in the face, fucking just riding a bike, cause he was in the gang. Another one of my friends got shot, I think, in a car, and then recently a couple of my other friends got shot too. But like, you know what I mean? Like, and they were probably about the same age as me, but they died really young, And I was hanging around with them, and I was all like, man, it's probably gonna happen to me one day, and you have a disregard for life at that point. But
But see, I as a kid, even as a young kid, I never expected to live long. I just had to, and maybe it's very morbid, maybe it's very like dark, but I just always had this thought of like, I didn't know many old people, bro.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know, like, I was young. My dad was in jail. I was helping raise my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I was around a lot of kids. You couldn't see that far. Like, I
Yeah.
thought, like, in real life, bro, I always thought that I was going to die before 25. And then I had a midlife crisis or identity crisis when I got to that age. And I was like, yo, what the fuck?
We call
I'm
it a
not
quarter
gonna
life
die.
crisis.
Like, I'm not going to die. We don't even know if a quarter that going back to that age shit, we don't know if that's a quarter life. Like, they telling us what our life expectancy is, bro, because they, whatever.
Cause they literally put shit in our food so we can die earlier.
Yeah, bro, we supposed to be living out here, G. We're not supposed to be dying this. We're
Mhm.
not supposed to be dying at 30, 40 with cancer, 50 with cancer. Like,
Well, that's the whole like, not to get too political, but that's the whole like government thing. You know what I mean? The big pharma and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
They want us to buy fucking pills so we can get hooked on them.
yeah.
And they
That's
want.
why I got a book coming out, too. I don't know when it's going to come out. It's called Xanax Betrayal, but, like, I'm on some, like, I'm on some, like, fuck big pharma, fuck
Dude,
all
fuck
of this
yeah,
shit.
dude.
Like, I'm just like, bro, the same approach that I take for the music as like an independent artist trying to empower artists and support artists. I take that same approach with everything. You know what I mean? And then even with like writing my book, and they better hope my hands are fucked. They better hope that I don't ever get into a position of real influence and power,
Mhm.
because I'm gonna shake shit. Like, they're not gonna be fucking with us like that. Like, we
Mhm.
can't just let them keep fucking with us like that. But that's another conversation.
Oh man, I had a whole swarm of questions now.
What are some things you'd like to change about the world?
I don't know, man. That's a crazy question.
If you were president for the world for one day, what's one law that you would pass?
I would just like de facto just end all the wars, like immediately. Just say
Mhm.
all the wars are done.
Everybody's on a truce.
Yeah, nobody's dying anymore.
True.
I just think I think a true utopia might not be attainable, but like the option to love is always there. And I think we need to choose love more, you know?
True.
That's the only thing I would change about the world. But I feel like I'm doing my best to do that, because all that we can control for real is our contribution, our reason, choice, what we do. I'm like super into stoicism, so like I'm worrying about what I can do in my contribution, my effort, and you know, if I try to lead by example, people may or may not, but hopefully they will like emulate that, you know, like, and just lead with love. Cause I feel like that's what we need, bro, especially in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, absolutely.
True. So, what's next for Logan? We're coming to an end of our interview here, but I guess you have any upcoming projects, upcoming albums? You have a book coming out?
Yeah, I don't know when the book's gonna come out, so we'll just stick a pin in that. But the book has been developing, and I started writing it in 2019.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's about mental health, my battle with Xanax and benzodiazepines and the pharmaceutical industry, all of that. It's gonna get covered. All the Paradox albums, Paradox 1 and 2 are out now. 3 is coming. More events, cool ass events. You guys should pull up to I don't know what the next one exactly is gonna be, but we have a couple coming up the next couple months. Pull up.
Cool. Yeah, keep us posted. We'll be sure to share it on our social
yeah.
media pages.
Oh yeah, so yeah, what's coming up? Just more shows, man, more music. Just trying to like, you know, continue to keep this thing going.
Hell yeah.
Good deal, man. Is there any last messages you want to send out to your listeners and followers out there?
Yeah, stream Paradox 2. Stream Paradox 2 and listen to cool music. Hell yeah, and do cool shit and read cool books.
Read cool books.
Maybe last question of the night. What would you like your legacy to be?
I don't know. I think as a man, all right, I think as a man, right, your totality of your life will probably be viewed as your legacy, but your legacy is way more, or the duration of your legacy is longer than you think. So I don't know exactly what it would be, but I hope to have a long-lasting impact. I hope I can have some kids. I hope I can, you know, touch as many people as possible that they spread my music and that they keep my name and my message alive long after I'm here. And I have no idea what that's gonna mean. I hope it just means to be true and authentic, and people know that like I really tried, you know, like I gave everything that I can while I was here. Like that's important to me. And that I don't know, man, that it was just true and authentic. Like if that's my legacy at the end of the day, that I gave it my all, and that I was true, and I stayed true, and that I didn't let anybody else dictate what I did or my pace. I think that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Like all I ever wanted to be, or at least now that I have that clarity, all I want to be is free. You know? So like if that's my legacy, then that's you know.
It's a good message.
Hell yeah.
It's a good
To
message.
die a free man. Hell yeah.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Well, cool. Well, what do you say we wrap this show up, you guys?
Hell yeah.
Hop on out of here.
Sick.
You know, 8MatikLogan, you were the man. I was really looking forward to our conversation, and you were everything and then some, my friend.
Man, thank you guys for having
shocked
me
us today, brother. So absolutely, you know, we wish you nothing but the best of luck in the future, and you know, keep your nose clean and keep your head in the game, brother. And you're gonna go a really long way, man. Sincerely. You're an incredibly humble man, and you know you're very smart,
Really smart dude.
You're very driven.
Thank you, man.
And you're very unique. You have such a unique sound and just aura about you. So, you know,
I appreciate
you're a genuine human, and we really appreciate you coming in, brother.
No, thank you guys for having me. Hopefully I can stop by again soon, and maybe next time play something, or you know. But yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for the kind words and the love and support, man. It's very necessary. And it's not taken lightly or for granted. So I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. Send this on over to us.
Yeah. Well, let's send it on out of here, you guys. Well, this has been yet again another production of Hawkwind's Radio Picture Show. So if anyone out there is interested in being a part of the show, reach out to us. Let us know. If you got a friend you'd like to refer, send them our way. And you know, usually at the end of each show, we try to challenge everybody to a weekly challenge. You got a challenge for everyone this week, Jay?
My weekly challenge is to just listen to more music. Listen to music that's not in your genre comfort zone.
Yeah. Expand a little. Let the playlist breathe.
Yeah.
You know, have some fun with it. And be good to each other.
Don't listen to Slipknot 5 hours in a row. I mean, you can if you want to.
I mean,
I recommend it, but
yeah, do it in the gym.
Do you really listen to like one genre 5 hours straight?
Sometimes.
That's crazy.
But like I listen to different genres, so yeah, sometimes I do.
If it's lo-fi beats or something, I'll listen to it 5 hours straight.
Like you ever like listen to jazz sometimes, dude? None of their shit sounds the same, so you can listen to that shit for like
a jazz. If you put a
5
jazz
hours
playlist.
straight.
But what I've noticed about me is that I like a very specific kind of jazz. That's what I'm going to jazz for.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes when they go to these other styles of jazz, I'm like, all right, I can get that from somewhere else. Like, I'll get that better somewhere else. Actually, let me stop talking.
You, brother.
Because I don't want to.
You should look into like math rock and like mathcore stuff. Math rock. So like with jazz and shit, you have like all these weird time signatures and all these weird like just like weird like fucking shit that you do. Tempos and whatnot. And so yeah, it's just the name they call it, because you're just constantly kind of doing math as you're playing it. You know what I mean? Go from 4/4 to 4 to 3/4 to fucking 8/16 to whatever the fuck.
Really?
And it's just called math rock.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna dive into
mathcore. So math rock is a little bit softer. Mathcore is a little bit more like we're screaming.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely look into it if you like jazz.
And then there's Schoolhouse Rock, which can also teach you about math.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It has a lot of noodly guitars. That's what I like it. The noodly guitars.
We've been calling a lot of things noodly on the show lately. It's making me hungry.
Well, ramen. Damn, I got the rest of the Mexican foods.
Well, we're going to send it out, though. You guys all have a very noodly Wednesday night. Again, thank you for tuning in to Hawkwind's Radio Picture Show. We are here at Q4 Radio every Wednesday every Wednesday. Tune in. We got a lot of fun stuff on the horizon, so be sure to just tune in.
And whoever's watching, click that subscribe button. It's telling us you're not subscribed to us. What the fuck?
Yeah, hit the subscribe button.
Hell?
Let us know. Let us know where you're coming from.
Just one click. That's it.
We appreciate you guys tuning in.
Assholes. Just kidding.
All right. Well, we're out of here. You guys have a good night. Take care.
Peace.